Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I'ma detail the story of Tomiekia Johnson. Now, Tomiekia would be born and raised in Compton, California. Tomiekia grew up a smart girl with a good head on her shoulders. She was also good in the classroom and also good on the basketball court. She was a good student at Gardena High School, and after she graduated, she got a full scholarship to Cal State Dominguez Hills. Even with all these things going good for Tomiekia, she had a bad temper at times. She had a few boyfriends in college, and both of these relationships would go bad, with Tomiekia not being a person to play with. Her first boyfriend in college cheated on her, so she burned his clothes and also burned his car. Another man that she dated, she threatened to kill. She didn't kill him, but she did bust him and his friends' windows out their car. Besides all the drama, Tomiekia was doing great in college. She graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Tomiekia would later decide to become a police officer and graduated number 14 out of 140 people. She was number 1 female in the California Highway Patrol Academy. Tomiekia worked for 7 years as a California Highway Patrol officer and served as a CHP spokeswoman for a recruitment agency, and also appeared in television ads and also radio broadcasts promoting career in law enforcement with the CHP. During this time period, Tomiekia would meet a man named Marcus through a local bowling league that she was in. Her and Marcus dated for around a year, and they later married in 2006. They would have a daughter together in 2007. But everything wouldn't just be all good in their relationship. They would have a toxic, abusive relationship. Many friends and family, and also witnesses would say they seen Tomiekia be an aggressor in a lot of the situations. With her being a police officer, she was known to carry a gun. Some of Tomiekia and Marcus's friends would say she even talked about harming him multiple times. But many people will also say that Marcus used to physically abuse Tomiekia and did all throughout their relationship. On February 21st, 2009, the couple had a big fight but decided to go out to dinner. But at dinner, they would get into another big argument. Later that evening, a woman driving by observed the physical altercation between Tomiekia and Marcus outside of their car. Witness would tell police that she only seen Tomiekia leaving a restaurant. Tomiekia and Marcus would be fighting, and this will lead to Tomiekia pulling out her gun and shooting Marcus in the head. All this will be recorded inside the restaurant's parking lot. Instead of calling 911, Tomiekia drove to her parents' house with Marcus' dead body in the car, which Tomiekia's mom would later call 911, and Tomiekia would later be arrested. According to Tomiekia, her and Marcus argued the whole night, and she exited the car to walk home. She thought Marcus was going to reach for a gun that she believed was in her purse that she left in the car. She would say she was afraid of Marcus and what he was going to do to her. Tomiekia would say she picked up her gun and accidentally fired it, striking Marcus. She then drove to her parents' house and told them to call 911. The argument that happened that night with Tomiekia and Marcus happened because she was flirting with another man. This led to a physical fight, and Marcus later dying. The whole events that happened around the shooting were all captured at the restaurant.
Highway patrol officer admits she shot and killed her husband during a domestic dispute at their home in Compton, but the officer says it was self-defense. Eyewitness News reporter Gene Gleason is live at LA County Sheriff's headquarters in Monterey Park with the latest on the investigation. Gene?
Well, David, sheriff's officials here say their detectives are conducting a full investigation of the shooting Saturday night. The 27-year-old CHP officer shot and killed her own husband while they were on their way home from dinner. Officer Tomiekia Johnson allegedly told detectives her husband became verbally and physically combative during an argument as they returned from dinner late Saturday night. The couple married just 2 years ago. This is their wedding photograph. Johnson reportedly told detectives she pulled out a handgun and shot her husband as he attempted to abuse her.
There was a domestic dispute that turned aggressive between the victim and the suspect, and she was able to produce a handgun, at which time she did shoot the suspect, her husband.
Friends and relatives of Lamar Lemons deny he was abusive. They told Eyewitness News today they heard the shooting took place in the car and that she continued on to her parents' home here on Amantha Street in Compton before calling police. Officer Johnson, who's been on the CHP about 2 years, remains free, according to the Sheriff's Department.
Tomiekia will plead self-defense and say she was abused by Marcus their whole relationship, and she killed him out of fear of being beat again. But all the proof against her, Tomiekia will be sentenced to 50 years to life in 2012. There will be many petitions over the years to set Tomiekia free, and even her daughter, who she left to go to prison when she was 4 years old, will write a California governor a letter in 2020 asking for clemency for her mom. Tomiekia is now 44 years old, and her earliest release date is 2031. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.